Welcome to the Final Hour podcast, coming to you from the original Living Word Christian Center out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. My name is Jim Hammond.
I'm Linnea Farrell.
I'm John Gapp.
And I am JD.
And we have Rollo finally not causing chaos behind us. Rollo's my dog, in case you don't know who that is. And I'm just asking you to please subscribe. If you have us on YouTube, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. If you're looking at us on Rumble, hit the green follow button. Spotify, hit the plus sign button. The plus sign. Apple Podcast, plus follow. Okay, and you are subscribing. Facebook, all you have to do is like it. We have an Israel trip we are taking.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
February 2nd through the 13th.
We are all taking it.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's no longer just a
The others.
trip. It is
The hammer's coming.
the hammer.
You're not just dealing with an angry pirate anymore.
Oh, I forgot my duck. Dale and Jill, thank you. They gave me a little pirate duck.
Yeah.
And then M&Ms, because remember on the bus he would have M&Ms and he would share them.
Cheryl dropped off some chocolatey espresso stuff from Italy.
I got
yeah.
Italy.
Well,
I can't be that bad if I'm getting gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just say this. This is a tour where you can connect with God. You'll definitely get back from the tour stronger with the Lord than you were. But for me to go, I know that I'm a pastor, but I'm not counseling anyone on the tour. Should we take that out, Jerry?
No,
I think
we
that
didn't have
is
to counsel anybody
very-
last time.
I've just been on
It's
tours.
a tour.
Yeah, you got to set your boundaries.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the other thing
Henry Cloud would be proud.
the other thing we want to address is if you're afraid, like people are writing in, do we have armed security at the hotels? Do we have armed security on the bus? No, we don't. But Billy Brim, I've been on how many of her tours? 5, and never seen one armed guard anywhere. Going with the same tour company, generally the same tour guide that we're going with. I've been with Jonathan Kahn where he had 4 buses, and I never saw an armed guy around my bus or anywhere we went. And so we don't have armed security guards. I think if they think we needed them, they would have them. And so
There are armed IDF all over the place.
yeah, there's troops everywhere.
They're like.
But if you're scared and you're like, the United States doesn't advise travel to Israel, okay,
Right.
that's your choice, right? Follow peace, but does the Bible not talk about conflict in Israel literally all the time? So why are we so surprised that?
I'm going to see the conflict. But anyways, so I'm just saying, if you have fear, that's a sign. Don't go.
We're not trying to be
That's not
rude.
teasing.
We're just
No.
saying, I don't want to have to talk to you every day
Right.
About how scared you are.
Yes.
No, we don't. Right? So we're there to connect with God. It's not me that's going to connect you with God. It is the land itself, which is alive and living, walking in the places that Jesus walked and spoke, and, probably yards away from the actual grave he was buried in, if that's not the actual grave, yards away from the upper room. You're standing in the Garden of Gethsemane with trees that are literally 2,000 years old. I mean,
They were there.
we could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
En-Gedi, you're in an En-Gedi where Saul was chasing David.
Yeah.
You're going to connect with God, and it's not going to be me, Jerry, Linnea, for sure not the angry pirate, or John that's going to connect you with the Lord. I'm kidding.
God can use anybody for anything.
Even angry pirates.
Somebody
Somebody called me an
called her
angry
pirate. She runs a tight ship.
Look,
can't be
don't be
Does,
dilly-dallying.
And that helps the rest of the trip go
You know when
smoothly.
you're with somebody and there's always somebody that's last and you're annoyed with that person, I don't want you to be annoyed with anyone on the trip, so I'm just...
Because when we're last and when we're late, it costs more money.
Yeah.
And you can miss out on
and we're
things.
late to things where we have schedules.
That's happened before.
So, you just have the kind of person that is always late, just kind of giving you Heads up, not trying to keep you from
But
going.
hey, you should come. It's really fun.
I recommend
You got the angry
go.
pirate.
Yeah.
You got
we got the hammer.
that
and we got
refuses to counsel anyone.
Jolly Roger.
For anybody who's worried about any threats or anything like that, like the government saying not to go over there, I remember the first time last year when we went,
Yeah.
and I had a little bit of worry about that, but I put my trust and my faith in the Lord to protect us and all these things. And I can tell you with full assurance that I felt as safe as I did walking through like the very nice parts of Maple Grove.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Safer in a lot of ways, safer than a lot of places around here.
Right.
And the thing is, we pray. I
agree,
pray every
JR.
day for this trip.
Yeah.
If you're going on the trip, take 2 or 3 minutes and lift it up. Use your authority. Bind and loose any spirit or spirits of violence, harassment, the bus breaking down, anything going on in the hotel rooms or in the hotel, any confusion or deception with the planes. You're pleading the blood of Jesus over your actual seat. Start doing that now. Over your luggage now. The seat in the plane now. Over every hotel room you stay in now. Every bus you get on now, start doing it. And this is what we do. I do this every day. All right.
Since
Every
you
day.
decided to sign up for the trip.
No. I did it over
I'm
your
kidding.
trip because I would have
I
been
was kidding.
responsible if something would have happened or the angry pirate would have offended someone and sent him home or something.
You would be responsible for that?
Technically, it would have come back on me. It wouldn't come back on you. Absolutely. I was praying the whole time you guys were over there. So
6 or 7.
6, 7.
6, 7.
please, it really helps us if you give us a good review, whatever platform you're on, a 5-star. If we're not 5, then don't give us a 5. We don't want a 3. If you think we're a 5 or a 4.5, give us a 5 or a 4.5, please. It just helps with the algorithms.
You guys smile when you say that, though.
Give us.
If you got a 3, we don't want to hear from you.
Yeah.
A 1, don't even think about it.
Just keep watching. Just,
Keep walking, bud.
Speaking of,
Walking.
if you think we're a 2,
You got-
pray for us to get better and keep watching.
okay, hold on. We had some girl who just wrote in.
Some girl.
I want to say her
Some girl.
name. Well, I don't know her name right
Well,
now.
don't give her a full name.
Her full name is
I'm
Leighton.
not going to. No, she doesn't watch the podcast because I talk to her about it all the time. Tiffany E. She said, I've been binge watching all your episodes on YouTube. I watched your entire Nephilim series. I wanted more, so I decided to go back to your very first episode.
Yeah.
I love learning new things you all provide and listening. That's what she said.
I had
So
2 people
thanks,
this weekend say the
Tiff.
same thing, that they have
Tiffy.
started. They went back to the beginning and are starting.
Yeah, thank you.
One guy, George, my guy George. Shout out George.
Shout out George.
George, is that George?
It's George.
We'll talk later.
Jerry knows George.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he's like, I went back to the beginning. I'm listening to about 8 of them a day. Just have it in my headphones. And
Wow, that's amazing.
Because
Thank you.
You're gonna get end times word out of the Bible.
Yeah.
Those early episodes, what were we doing? We were doing Revelation. We were doing the seal
Absolutely.
judgments. We were doing the trumpet judgments. We were doing the bowl judgments. We did every letter.
Ezekiel 38, 39.
Ezekiel 38, 39 war, Gog, Magog war. We did every letter from Jesus Christ himself to the end time churches in Revelations 2 and 3. So, and even now we're in Daniel. We're giving you the end time prophecies of Daniel. So it is, I know we've gone into different subjects and things, but there always is something out of the Bible in this, besides, trying to report things that the state-run woke news hides from you, which they're still doing. They're still hiding. They're lying about their, these places are killing fields. Minneapolis, did we just have 6 people killed?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah, 6 people. That didn't even
6
make the
people?
news. Yeah, it made the
Mass
local
shooting.
news maybe. But I'm just saying, you don't think these cities need to be cleaned up? And yes, legally, I don't think President Trump is going to be able to send the National Guard to Chicago, New York, and Minneapolis. Legally. I don't
No.
think he's going to be able to get by that legally, but I think he's making the point.
But can I?
That this is dangerous. These cities are dangerous.
If your city continues to be dangerous, then like nationally, we can't let that continue to happen.
No, we can't. But guess what the Chicago mayor said when Trump said, I'm thinking of sending National Guards to 19 states. Chicago is one of them. He said, Arresting violent criminals does not reduce crime. He said it is racist, it is immoral, and it is unholy.
I
That's
would
what
say
these
that
people think.
if you think that arresting violent criminals is racist, then you are equating violent criminals with a certain race. So
I agree.
That mayor is a racist.
And JD Vance went on a podcast and he was explaining we're not trying to create police states.
No.
We're trying to bring back law and order. So we're getting rid of cashless bail where you don't have to give any money. When someone gets arrested, they don't have to give any money to get out on bail. You just get to get out on bail.
And
That's how you
disappear.
get repeat offenders.
Yeah,
And that's how a bunch of violent illegal immigrants have then gone on to kill more people in the United States.
It's horrible. So, yeah, we just want law and order back in the country.
And
so
look,
sorry.
if D.C. had 187 murders last year, let's double that. Well, can I just tell you that? That's one. I'll just tell you this. That's every other day.
Yeah.
That's an average of a murder every other day. We just went 12 days in a row without a murder in D.C. So it's saving lives. All right, it's saving. There should have been.
That's racist.
There should have been 6 murders in D.C. if you go by the averages.
right.
In those 12 days, the National Guard have been there, and this is day 13. They had 1 murder.
Mm-hmm.
They've had 1 murder in 13 days. Right, break that out into 365.
Yep.
I think that's way less than 187.
So we're saving lives, and they're mad about that.
Yeah, they're mad about it. They're promoting
figure.
crime. They're promoting crime. And so, but I don't think he's going to be able to win in the Supreme Court. That's the bottom line with being able to send the troops. And like L.A., he did into L.A. because you had riots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's
he was able to
different,
do it. He was able to do it in L.A. So with that, we're going to continue in Daniel. We left off in Daniel chapter 8, verse 7. Just quickly, what we covered, a little bit of the end of what we covered last week. I saw him close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, break his 2 horns. There was no power in the ram to stand before Alexander the Great. This is the goat. But he cast him down to the ground and stamped on him, and there was none that could deliver Persia, the ram, out of his hand. So you have this goat, which represents Greece defeating the ram. In the natural, a goat could not defeat a ram. In the natural, Greece should not have defeated Persia. I'll just tell you that again and again. A ram is much bigger than a goat. Scholars estimate the Persian army was anywhere up to 300,000 to 2.5 million men. No one really knows. It was huge for that day. Alexander's army is between 20 and 50,000, depending on which part of his 10-year war you talk about. The choler is believed to mean that Alexander had, the word we just read in verse 7, had bitterness towards the Persians, the Medo-Persians. His hatred was fueled by the invasion of Xerxes. Persia invaded Greece a second time, the Persian general who had invaded Greece and his country some years before, and the Persians trounced through Macedonia, through Alexander's land. They were not able to conquer all of Greece. Matter of fact, they lost a major naval battle that ended it for the Persians. It is known that the Greeks hated the Persians. They burned Athens to the ground because of their treatment and it was avenged by Alexander the Great. And the phrase, there was no power in the ram, that's Persia, to stand before him, the goat, but he cast him down. And that's the phrase that's prophesying. And for it came up, 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of heaven is referring to the 4 generals. This is what we just read. Alexander had tutors. Let me talk about these. He had different tutors. One was Aristotle,
which is kind of... That's a big clout thing.
People don't know that.
Yeah.
One of the most intelligent.
Yep.
It would be probably said by scholars today. He's one of the most intelligent men in the world, visionary men in the world. There's a story when Alexander was on his deathbed. To who does the empire go? They think it may have been malaria that he caught in India, or poison. Who do you want to succeed you? He said, give it to the strong. So 4 of his most prominent generals divide up the empire. Ptolemy, Cassander, Lysicamus, and Seleucus. Okay? 4 of them. And this is history. And And the Bible's saying it in through prophecy. That's where we get the phrase in verse 8.
Hundreds of years in advance.
The great horn on the goat was broken.
Yeah.
And for it came up 4 notable ones. The 4 generals.
Yep.
Speaking of the 4 other horns. So imagine this. Over 200 years before it even happens, it's breaking out the 4 generals that take Alexander's place. It's being prophesied. And split his empire into 4 different territories as known in documented history. So this is the Bible matching up with documented history. Let me remind you of something. Go back a chapter. Daniel 7:6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. It had 4 heads. How long does it take you to show the leopard image, Jerry?
3 seconds.
All right, so can we show the leopard image just for those first-time viewers? This is in chapter 7. See how you had 4 heads given to the leopard, which represents the Grecian Empire? That's the 4 generals. The 4 generals after Alexander dies. Of the 4 guys that I mentioned, Cassander was married to Alexander's sister. He took over Macedonia and Greece, where Alexander came from. Lysicamus was actually one of Alexander's tutors. Besides being a general, he took Thrace, Bithynia, and Asia Minor. This is how they split it up. They went to war over this, by the way.
Yeah.
That's basically modern-day Turkey, Lysicamus. The 2 most formidable of the 4 generals are Ptolemy and Seleucus. Seleucus was one of Philip's top generals. Philip was Alexander's father.
Right.
It's probably just a decade older than Alexander. Seleucus. So Seleucus took Syria, all right, which is right above Israel, and all the lands to the east of that, which go all the way to India. Ptolemy, which starts with a P, P is silent, was a boyhood friend of Alexander's, a Macedonian noble, and a phenomenal warrior.
Yeah.
And he takes over Egypt, North Africa, parts of Asia Minor, and Arabia. So this is history. The Bible is calling history. So Seleucus and Ptolemy are going to be the really big players.
Yep.
And they built dynasties. These things lasted. And they're prophesied about essentially fighting each other over what is modern-day Israel.
Right.
Seleucus in Syria, Ptolemy in Egypt. What's between Syria and Egypt? Israel. And that's why it's in the Bible. In Daniel 11. Daniel prophesies all this real history before it even happened. And so, Seleucus and Ptolemy's little empires, right in the middle, is the little nation of Israel. And that's how you get Daniel prophesying about all these guys going to war. And how they do it, because it takes place over in the nation of Israel, the land God gave the Jews. So, and you see, when we get to Daniel chapter 11, verses 5 through 35, a half a dozen dynasties, generations between Ptolemy and Seleucus, their children, their grandchildren. It goes over a period of 4 centuries, their great-grandchildren. And this is what we call the silent years of the Bible, the time between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Wasn't Cleopatra Ptolemy?
She was. There's actually a Cleopatra in the book of Daniel, but that was her. That was a much later Cleopatra. They still named, her ancestors after her. There's like a 6 Cleopatras later, 6 generations later. But the Bible is not silent on the centuries between the Old and New Testament. They are all prophesied about in verses 5 through 35 ahead of time in Daniel 11.
Yeah.
It's all prophesied. And we'll talk about all that when we get to Daniel 11, although we've already done a whole podcast on Daniel 11.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a little hairy. And I'm going to give you both opinions. All right? And you have to a lot of these times, these visions will go from the history
Right.
into the Antichrist in the future.
In the end times, yeah.
And you have to know when this happens.
Switches.
Yes.
Yeah.
One opinion, what we're about to read in verses 9 through 14 of Daniel 8. And, I'll just say, number one, you got people that think this is talking about the actual Antichrist. And people think this is talking about another guy that's a type or a shadow of the Antichrist. All right? And in Daniel 7, you got a little horn that comes up out of the four generals. And this is before Rome is in the picture.
Right.
We're about to read that this event is 2,300 days. This is 2,300 days. It's not 3.5 years. That's not a tribulation number. The abomination of desolation that takes place by the Antichrist in the rebuilt temple after the rapture in the tribulation. It's the opinion of what I'm about to read you. It is not the same thing. Okay? This is a type or a shadow. This is real history. Daniel, these guys think Daniel's prophesying about a whole nother event. And I'm talking about Daniel.
Yeah.
Chapter 8, verses 9 through 14. We'll get to it. There was a king, history will tell you, Antiochus Epiphanes, out of the Seleucid Empire, was a Syrian king out of the Seleucid dynasty. Remember, Seleucus is one of the generals from Alexander. Well, this is one of the guys out of his family generations later that followed the original Seleucus. The Syrian king out of the Seleucid dynasty was an evil, evil Syrian king. And he is a type of the Antichrist that Daniel sees in his vision. This is one opinion. I'm going to give you two. He is a picture of the Antichrist, these scholars think, but he is not. I'll let you decide. It really doesn't matter. This is not the Antichrist, what Daniel is prophesying about right here, because of the 2,300 days.
Yeah. Right.
They think it's wrong. The first abomination of desolation of the temple occurred December 25th, 167 BC.
Okay.
On that day, Antiochus Epiphanes, a Seleucid king from 175 to 164 BC, ordered that an altar to Zeus be built on top of the altar in the Jerusalem temple. Like a total affront to God.
Like on the foundation stone, or there,
right on whatever their altar, wherever they burn the animals, right? Antiochus Epiphanes then proceeded to offer the flesh of a pig.
Oh, jeez.
which is a no-no.
Right.
This is God's temple.
Right.
This is the Jewish people's temple. This is just one of the ways he desolated the temple in 167 BC. The king, he outlawed Judaism. He told the Jews they could not circumcise their male children. And this is real history. And when they found a circumcised child or baby, they killed it, made the mother hang it around her neck, and walk around with a dead baby if they found that the child was circumcised.
Wow.
So these guys were running around the city checking infants to see if they'd been circumcised.
Wow, that's a lot.
So jacked up.
I know.
That is messed up.
I was going to make a comment.
So these scholars, who are some of the best in the world, they think this whole thing, I'm going to read you in a little bit, Daniel 8, chapter 8, verses 9 through 14, is a shadow of the coming Antichrist. All right? So, Daniel 8.
So how long did that last?
Do you know what's interesting about that? Like, if you think about what they did, it all goes back to like controlling the culture and the narrative. Like, look at what they're trying to push on kids these days.
Oh, yeah.
With the sexuality of them. But like, that's a lesser thing, right? Now we're trying to like change the gender, but it all goes back to the gender. And I don't know. I just think it's crazy how the devil just keeps adding things to it all.
For sure.
Daniel 8, 9 through 14. Let's read it. Out of one of them came forth a little horn. These are the four horns that popped up on the goat after the big horn snapped in half. Alexander died. Alexander was the big horn. The four horns that come out on the goat are the four generals. Well, out of them came forth a little horn which waxed great toward the south, coming from Syria, toward the east, toward the pleasant land, And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. It cast down some of the host of the stars to the ground, stamped on them. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of sanctuary was cast down. Verse 12, and an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto the certain saint which spoke, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden under foot? And he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary
That's a lot of time.
be cleansed.
Yeah, it's almost 6.4 years.
Really?
I was.
And it doesn't
I
match
was
up with
wondering how
the
much.
tribulation. But we're going to
But-
give you two takes on this.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that the
Takes.
the one that we talked about yesterday? Or is that different?
Well, my other take is Jimmy Swaggart's take. Jimmy Swaggart, the late Jimmy Swaggart, is an end times expert. He wrote a Bible commentary on basically every verse in the Bible. Matter of fact, you got to promote this. It's one of the best Bibles you can ever buy. It's called the Expositor's Study Bible. Jimmy Swaggart.
Cool.
Every single verse, it has in red what that verse means.
That's amazing.
He commentates every single verse in the Bible. Do I agree with everything? No. But he's amazing. This man was amazing, especially on end times.
Yeah.
Especially on end times. And so, again, we're talking about an event that takes place for 2,300 days. Let's break down verses 9 through 14. This is not the abomination of desolation that takes place by the coming Antichrist and the rebuilt Jerusalem temple, the tribulation temple that happens after 3.5 years. That's not 2,300 days. This is what these guys are saying. See, they don't agree with Jimmy Swaggart. And I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know what to agree with.
Sure.
It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. We're just breaking down this end times prophecies for you. This is why we're doing this, right?
Well, the thing is, the closer we get to all of this, it's gonna make sense. Like it's gonna click, and you're gonna go, "Oh, that was it. This is it. This is what the word was talking about. This is what Daniel was talking about the whole time." And so you need to know what it says. You might not understand it until right at the moment, and that's kind of the way God works with
I agree.
with
That happens sometimes.
stuff in the Word. Is you don't understand it completely until it.
Well,
becomes,
Jesus even said that to the disciples right
Exactly.
before he died.
Yeah.
You're
They
not
call it
gonna
a
understand
word of wisdom.
Yeah.
a word
Gives
of
you a
wisdom.
little bit. Still, someone taking away the sacrifices.
Yep.
The Antichrist takes away the sacrifices. The Jews start sacrificing animals again after we go in the rapture, and they're preparing for that. They're ready to do that. They've actually already sacrificed animals.
They've sacrificed animals. They have started doing the Song of Ascent. They've been doing the practice of walking up on the Temple Mount, and this week they were blowing shofars on the Temple Mount.
Crazy.
This is like the month of, is it month of Elul? I don't know the
Well,
yeah, but it's like the month, yeah, more or less.
It's August.
it's
Up
August.
until and that ends at the Feast of Trumpets in September 23rd, 24th this year.
Wow.
And then, according to a lot of people, we're going in the rapture September 26th.
There are possibilities.
I'm a believer that you can know the season and not the day.
Yeah.
But look, they will be sacrificing
That's not what
on the
God
Temple
says.
Mount at that time in the tribulation. Can you imagine all the PETA people?
Oh man.
But
the animal people?
I don't know. Do you think?
And a lot of Jews are very vegan, very vegetarian.
Well, yeah, and look, people point. A lot of Jews are deceived, and they're some of the most left-wing, ungodly, ungod-believing people on earth.
Yeah.
All right, so you can't just point at all.
No,
he still desolates the temple like the Antichrist does. This guy, Antiochus Epiphanes, did this in 167 BC, and I'm going to quote you out of the Messianic Study Bible. It is also known from history as the abomination of desolation. The erection of the statue of Jupiter was done on the 25th day of the month of Kislev in 168 BC. The sanctuary was cleansed on the 25th day of Kislev in 165 BC. So the entire duration of 23 days, or 2,300 days, began on September 9th, 171 before Christ, BC, until the rededication of the temple on December 25th, 165 BC. That's your 2,300 days.
Wow.
That's why these guys think it was Antiochus Epiphanes.
Right.
That's why they don't think this is the tribulation.
Sure.
And as always, prophecy was literally fulfilled exactly 2,300 days later.
Well, and it makes sense because that's where all what Daniel's talking about in that period.
Yeah.
You know, he's talking about the Persians, the Greeks, and then up to the Romans. So it makes sense that he would prophesy that in the middle of that.
How coincidental that those days add up. So Daniel was seeing a vision of this Seleucid king desolating the temple. He even prophesied the exact number of days that it all went down.
Wow.
At least according to the Messianic Bible Study Guide. Another name for this king Antiochus Epiphanes is Antiochus IV. If you're going to look him up, right? You can Google him. So all that's going on here is Antiochus IV, or Antiochus Epiphanes, is setting the stage for the Bible to give us some insights into the final world leader, the end time Antichrist.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Antiochus IV was the 8th king of the Seleucid dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
He was the eighth down the line.
Okay.
As I said, Antiochus IV came into power 175 BC. He invaded Egypt. Who was down there? Who was down there in Egypt? Who's down there in Egypt? I think we've talked about him. Ptolemy. Remember him, the other general? He succeeded at that time at defeating Ptolemy VI. All right? 6 generations after the original Ptolemy. All this to say,
People need better names for each other.
These guys, this is not talking. These scholars believe this is not talking about the Antichrist.
Bill.
That's what I was going to say.
In the tribulation. This is a type or a shadow that happened in real history. Remember, Antiochus Epiphanes was almost 2 centuries before Jesus. Here's the words of Jesus, Mark 13:14 through 23. But when you shall see the abomination of desolation, spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand, let them that be in Judea flee to the mountains.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here
Where's
we
that?
go. I don't know.
Petra. Gonna get to that. Petra. You can go visit Petra today.
Not Striper.
You can see where they're gonna flee. It's mountains in Jordan.
Oh.
You can go by yourself, not on the Final Hour podcast tour, okay?
That's complicated to get over there. We could do a tour over there.
It would really be cool.
But you would need you'd have to go through
I want to do Rome and
Jordanians.
Italy next.
Sure.
I already talked to a guy about it. He said we can.
Let him that is on the housetop not go down into the house. Neither enter therein.
That'd be more of like a Paul trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Like go...
Extending Jesus' ministry.
Or take anything out of the house. Verse 16, let him that is in the field not turn back again for to take up his garment. But woe to them that are with child and to them that give suck in those days, people that are nursing. We pray ye that your flight be not in the winter. You need to pray that it's not in the winter. In those days shall be affliction such as was not from the beginning of creation.
So we can change a time. If you can pray against it coming at a certain season, you can pray.
Obviously, he's saying you can keep it from being winter or maybe you could keep the weather. You could control the weather possibly at that time. It's going to be hard on women if they're pregnant to get to the mountains of Petra. All right, is what this is saying. Because the Jews are going to have to flee 3.5 years into the tribulation. They're going to have to run for the mountains in Jordan. Mm-hmm. And 2/3 of the Jewish population is going to be murdered. All right. Such as was not from the beginning of creation for which God created unto this time. It's never been this bad over in Israel as it'll be then. And except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, that's Israel, whom he hath chosen, he has shortened the days. And then if any man shall say, lo, here is the Christ. Lo, he is there. Believe him not. For false Christs and false prophets shall rise and shall and they'll have signs and wonders.
Yeah.
Just because a dude has signs and wonders doesn't mean, oh, that's the guy.
Yep.
Okay?
Pharaoh's magicians, when Moses was there, had signs and wonders, but they were all false. I mean, that's nothing new in the Bible, knowing that someone who opposes God has signs and wonders.
I believe in that stuff. I had a man that had a church in the Congo for many years, probably 2,500 people, built up a whole ministry in his old age. I asked him straight up about the voodoo stuff, and he told me straight up he'd seen a witch doctor turn into a panther. Come out of the water, either from a panther to a witch doctor or from a witch doctor to a panther. You know, you can whatever. You don't have to believe all that. You'll see. Jesus is talking about a future event, thousands of years after Antiochus IV desolated the temple. Okay?
Yep.
He's talking about the abomination of desolation that the Antichrist commits, and we talk a lot about this rebuilt temple in the tribulation. I think we've done whole podcasts on the rebuilt temple.
Yeah, yes.
And how that works. We've talked about it.
Yeah, Jesus is talking about this here, though, 165 years after.
It's true.
Yeah.
So he can't be referring to that.
No, he's not referring to that. That's the point we're trying to make you. He's not referring to the same thing we just read in Daniel. Right. Great point. When Daniel talks about the Antichrist setting up the abomination of desolation, think about this. 2 Thessalonians 2, 3, and 4. Let no man deceive you by any means. Yes, there's way more crime than they're saying. The media is so deceptive. They're straight out, flat out lying about everything. There's going to be a lot of deception. That day shall come, except there come a falling away. That's happened after COVID. The church, for the body of Christ as a whole, is not even half of what it was before COVID. And that the man of sin be revealed. That has to happen first. The son of perdition, all that has to happen first. The great deception, great falling away, who exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sitteth in the temple showing himself to be God. So the 2 Thessalonians, again, telling you this is what happens in the rebuilt temple, the tribulation temple, that's not there yet, that will be on the Temple Mount in Israel, and the Antichrist 3.5 years into the tribulation is going to kill the two witnesses. We've done a whole podcast on the two witnesses, which is a whole other subject, a whole other sermon. He's going to stop the animal sacrifices, and he will go in and proclaim himself God. That is the abomination of desolation that Jesus just talked about. Yeah. The book of Daniel refers to an abomination of desolation 4 times. Yeah. Okay? Let me give you this. This is important because a lot of people get confused.
Well,
when they're reading Daniel.
Antiochus Epiphanes, he erected a statue of Jupiter / Zeus. Right. So he wasn't necessarily proclaiming he was God. He proclaimed Jupiter / Zeus.
But this guy's proclaiming he is
but the
God,
one
the Antichrist.
that Jesus is talking about is saying he's the guy.
He's God.
Yeah.
Many scholars believe 2 of the 4 references in Daniel to the abomination of desolation, what we're talking about today, there's one in Daniel 11, okay, Daniel 9 and Daniel 12 talking about abomination of desolation, and we'll explain each one to you as we get there. In the Jewish temple, Daniel 9 and 12 are referring to the Antichrist. Okay? Okay. So
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
listen. Before we move on, let me give you Jimmy Swaggart's take out of his famous Expositor's Study Bible. It's amazing. I'm just going to read you his commentary on verses 9 through 14 because this is a different take.
Yeah.
Jimmy Swaggart.
Yep.
Okay.
And out of one of them came forth a little horn, refers to the future Antichrist coming out of one of the four divisions of the old Grecian Empire. Toward the south refers to Egypt. Toward the east refers to Syria, Iraq, and Iran. Toward the pleasant land refers to Israel. From this area, the Antichrist will make his bid for world dominion. That's verse 9. This is what he says about verse 10. It waxed great even to the host of heaven refers to the little horn, the Antichrist, breaking his 7-year covenant with Israel, which Daniel speaks of in a future vision, actually declaring war on Israel at that time, seeking to destroy her. This is symbolized by the phrase, and it, little horn, cast down some of the hosts and the stars to the ground, stamped upon them, referring to Israel being defeated at that time, which is yet future. Verse 11, here's his commentary. He magnified himself. So he's saying this is the Antichrist.
Yeah. Right.
Jimmy Swaggart's saying this is not the rebuilt temple.
Yeah.
But what gets me is the other scholars lined up the 2,300 days.
Right.
How's Jimmy Swaggart going to line up the 2,300 days? Aren't you just sitting on the edge of your seat,
I
John?
am actually.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I have a point. Keep going.
He magnified himself even to the Prince of Hosts. See, Jimmy Swaggart is saying this is the real Antichrist. This is not Antiochus Epiphanes.
Yeah.
So we just like to give you the different opinions here by people that know a lot more than me. Okay? All right. These verses actually speak of the war which will be instituted by the Antichrist when he breaks his 7-year covenant with Israel and other countries, actually invading the pleasant land. He will defeat Israel, stop the daily sacrifices, which will have to be reinstituted by Israel after a lapse of approximately 2,000 years. This tells us the Jewish temple is going to be rebuilt. Well, we all know that. Verse 12, here's his commentary. By reason of transgression refers to the Antichrist breaking his 7-year covenant with Israel, therefore committing transgression. As stated, he will then stop the daily sacrifice it practiced and prospered, refers to the fact that much of the world will applaud him in these actions. Verse 13, these are saints in heaven that are talking. Remember in the vision, Daniel's heard 2 saints talking. Daniel overheard their conversation, but had no identification as to who they were. The sanctuary spoken of here is the rebuilt temple. The host to be trodden underfoot refers to the worshipers, with their worship stopped, as well as the high priest and associated priest abruptly stopping their duties, if not being killed. This is when the Antichrist invades Israel in the middle of the 7-year tribulation. Here's where Jimmy Swaggart, listen, the 2,300 days, listen to this. This verse makes reference to 2,300, he says, evenings and mornings.
Yep.
As there are 2 sacrifices a day.
Yep.
Cutting that in half, which has reference to the number of days, the number is 1,150.
Yep.
In Daniel's day, the years were counted as 360 days long.
Yep.
Instead of our present method of using 365. Is your head spinning yet?
No, this is tracking.
Hence,
You love this?
Yeah, I do.
hence the 3 years, 2 months, and 10 days are the whole and actual length of the doing away of the daily sacrifices in the temple before they are offered again by the Jews when the sanctuary is cleansed of the abomination of desolation. Jesus mentioned this in Matthew 24.
Wow.
All right, so
We just read.
I don't know what to believe.
I got something for this.
The question is Daniel 8, 9 through 14, I gave you, is it Antiochus Epiphanes? Is it a type and a shadow of the Antichrist? Or Jimmy Swaggart saying it is the Antichrist? And he gave you the reason for 2,300 days.
Can you read Jimmy Swaggart's part about the little horn trampling the other horns?
Yes, verse 9, his commentary on Daniel 8, verse 9. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, refers to the future Antichrist coming out of one of these 4 divisions of the old Grecian Empire.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. So he's coming out of the old Grecian Empire, but what were you saying? Anyway, Iraq and Iran and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. All of those, if there is going to be someone that gives Israel all of the sanctuary or all of the Temple Mount to build a new temple, it's going to have to come from someone in those areas. And as I've brought up a lot of times, the mark of this person is 666. I think it's got to be someone who is a Muslim or at least comes from a Muslim background, because it is being identified by John in
But kind of
Revelations.
won't that prove to you why there's so much push for the Muslim religion in the United States and
Muslim
everywhere?
religion, but then also the Abrahamic Accords that Trump is trying to push. I mean, and this could be that gift that goes, Israel, go ahead, let us build a 2-state solution, but you get the Temple Mount.
Interesting.
And so I'm just saying it's all being set up here, and that lines up with what's happening right now. That's what I think.
I don't disagree.
So I think that is, I think it's talking about the future tribulation appearance of the Antichrist. And I think we'll be seeing the end of Iran and Iraq. I mean, Iraq's already cleared out from what it was.
We're just waiting for their currency to get validated by the World Bank, so I'll be rich.
There you go.
All right, Daniel, really rich. Daniel 8, 15 and 16. It came to pass when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, that behold, there stood before me as the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of this river, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. Let's see what Gabriel the angel has to say to Daniel, because he is the messenger. Daniel 8:18. Now he was speaking with me. I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground, but he touched me and set me upright. Okay, set me upright in the Hebrew, it doesn't mean he just stood him up.
Yeah.
It can also mean he's giving him understanding.
Yeah.
19, he said, behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. We just read he's talking about eschatology.
Yeah.
What this whole podcast is generally based on here, because of the phrase, for at the time the end shall be. We are in those times. Daniel 8, 20, 21, the ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the Medes and the Persians. The rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn that between his eyes is the first king.
Yeah.
I do not see any scholars that debate that the great horn between the eyes of the goat is Alexander the Great.
Right.
You don't see anyone debating that.
No.
Verse 22 of chapter 8, now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And that's exactly what we've talked about. The 4 generals, Alexander's 4 generals, breaking his empire into 4 parts. Verse 23, in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. There's your Antichrist. There's a shifting of years here.
Dark
See, that's why you got to have help.
The dark side.
All right, it suddenly has shifted.
Yep.
Right? If you believe the Antiochus Epiphanes thing,
right,
there's a shift.
Yep.
If you don't, if you believe Jimmy Swaggart, it's really not shifting at all.
No.
Because of the words, the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to their full, seems to be saying when sin comes to its completeness. Well,
Producer's note. This podcast was filmed before receiving the knowledge of the Annunciation Church tragedy. Our hearts break for the tragic loss of life that has taken place in our community. Please agree with us in prayer on the Living Word MN social media pages.
6 people just killed Minneapolis last night. You had a mass shooting, I think, in Chicago.
You got an active shooter in Minneapolis right now?
Yeah. I mean, sin comes to its completeness. You got the government basically out in California giving permission for people to steal your child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That has not passed yet, so keep praying against AB 495.
I mean, just pick your child up on a street corner and claim him. A king of fierce countenance. That is one of 33 titles that's used for the Antichrist in the Old Testament. 33 names for the Antichrist in the Old Testament. 13 names for the Antichrist in the New Testament. Verse 24, his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. He shall destroy wonderfully. That's awesome. That awesomely is what wonderfully means in the Hebrew. And he shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. You're going to have nothing to run. You're not going to be able to run. If you miss the rapture, it says over and over, he's going to get them all.
Yeah.
I think a few will get out. In verse 24, the word wonderfully, really, that means awesomely. And notice how it says, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. So that means he gets power from Satan.
Yeah.
Revelation 13:4, they fell down and paid homage to the dragon, that's the devil, because he had bestowed on the beast, that's the Antichrist, all his dominion and all his authority. See, we're gone. The restrainer in 2 Thessalonians is gone in the rapture. We are gone. There's nothing holding the devil back.
Right.
They praised and worshiped the Antichrist, exclaiming, who is a match for the beast? Who can make war against him? The dragon is identified, and also in Revelation 12:9 as
Think of the TikToks about the Antichrist they'll be making. Yuck.
The dragon is identified as the devil. It identifies him in Revelation 12:9. Okay, Daniel 8:25. Through his policy he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. That's an interesting phrase.
Yeah.
He comes in like a lamb.
Yeah.
He makes peace now.
Yep.
Early on. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken.
Yeah.
Without hand. So the phrase through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, is talking about the Antichrist. Craft can mean cunning, but it's saying that everything he does prospers.
Yep.
Every decision he makes him look good to the world.
Yep.
The world is sold on this guy.
Yep.
And by peace shall destroy many. In the first 7 years, in the beginning of the tribulation, in the first 3.5 years, he's not a military leader, he's a peacemaker. And we know from other passages, he's going to be a peacemaker and a financial specialist.
Yeah.
It's going to look like everything's prospering.
It's funny because...
and they're going to forget quickly about all the people that disappeared in the rapture.
Oh, exactly. Well, I think it's always interesting, when you talk about the Rolo. He's stretching.
He's not going to listen to you.
I think it's funny that...
buddy.
Oh, boy.
Buddy.
I think it's funny that the Antichrist starts messing with Israel and starts killing them and whatever, and they have to flee. But then he kind of gets pulled into other conflicts. Like he has to move his attention away from the Jews.
And he has to.
So he's not like omnipotent. He's not. He doesn't know everything.
Well, the Jews flee to Petra, and everybody's thinking, why does he just mow them down with his helicopters?
Right.
While they're running.
Yeah.
Or in their cars, or however they're fleeing into Jordan. And how come he doesn't ever go get them in Jordan?
Right.
Because he's busy.
Because
you know what? A lot other countries
they're going to
rise up against him.
Yep.
They do. He has to go fight other places.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, well, good. We'll be up there eating nachos. Okay.
I'm going to be
getting rewards.
Cookies.
Heavenly nachos.
Puppy chow.
We won't even be here for that. We can watch it. And
we're going to be at the feast.
I mean, we get to greet the people that got all their heads cut off. Well, in the tribulation.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Sorry you didn't believe early enough.
We tried.
You will not be on the visit.
Sorry,
Will
you're
not be
on
the
that welcome
greeter.
team.
You're not a greeter for that. Okay. No. You're like the last.
Linnea's already organizing.
Hey, at least you didn't get the
Jim is
mark.
not
At least you didn't get the
No,
mark.
you're not going to be allowed to talk to them for like 5 years.
You can't be on the Martyrs Welcome team. That's
I'm too busy. I'll be too busy stalking Adam.
Martyrs Engagement team. It's not going to be on
No,
Jim's
Jim's
plate.
no, absolutely not. He's going to be in the back room having to do something away from people so he can't argue. There's no arguing in heaven.
I'll be a doorman somewhere because you can be a doorman in heaven.
Absolutely.
That's your goal, to open doors for people?
Well,
Why
you
not?
can
You
be.
get to talk to a lot of people.
Oh,
That way.
I do not want to be a
shouldn't confess
doorman in
that.
heaven.
Well, he's the Antichrist. And the Antichrist in the Greek means in the place
I'll
of
be a
Christ.
blade wielder.
He's not hiding the fact that he's against God.
No.
He shall be broken without hands means that he will be broken in the end supernaturally. And then we know exactly how Jesus
He's done
does
some really bold things over there.
it. Who, Rollo?
No, with the Antichrist.
So Daniel in chapter 8, verses 23 through 25, matches up a lot with the book of Revelation in the attributes, the characteristics of the Antichrist. And to sum it up, remember in the earlier years where Antiochus IV was a type of the Antichrist, possibly? A lot of scholars believe. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to believe. Which way? It doesn't really matter which way you believe.
Could be a little bit of both.
It says, just going quickly over the phrases we read in Daniel verse 25, he'll cause craft to prosper in his hand. Revelation 13 says no one will be able to buy or sell except that has the mark. It's very similar phrase here. Verse 25 of Daniel 8 says he will magnify himself in his heart. Revelation also says in chapter 13 he's given power speaking blasphemies for 42 months. And so we just read he will stand up against the prince of princes. Well, Revelation 13:6, he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme in his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. He's even ripping on the people that are already in heaven.
Wow.
Like the people that went in the rapture.
Wow.
He will achieve great power by
deep.
subduing others.
Yeah.
He will also achieve great power by providing a sense of false security.
Peace and security.
And he'll be very intelligent. And he'll be very persuasive. And he'll be a master orator. And verse 24, he will be controlled by another. He will be completely possessed by, I believe, Satan himself. And he will be an enemy of Israel. And before it's all over, he will subjugate Israel under his authority. That was Daniel 8:24. And it says, verse 25, his rule will be terminated by divine judgment, which is fully backed up in Revelation. And we do learn more about him in Daniel 9. Which we do next week, which we'll pick up. And so
you think it'll be the
next
Devon?
week we're doing Israel.
No. We're going to take a little break.
We have
just a
best-
1 week break. It's going to be something that really interests you next week.
It is.
It's for today.
I'm
It's for
excited.
now.
Mm-hmm.
It's for Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. Is that one?
Yes.
I don't even know about it yet,
I'm
so
sick of these-
I'm excited to
I'm
find out.
sick of these right wingers coming against Israel. These conservatives.
So we're gonna give
because
you-
they suddenly one of them becomes a Catholic, and suddenly she's an expert because she's Catholic.
Well, you know what's
Right.
interesting? Her father-in-law is on a board. He's English.
He's English, right?
So he's like a Lord something, but he is on the board of
Lord
the
Farquaad.
Holocaust Memorial something.
Oh, yeah.
And he basically said, I do not agree with what she's saying. What she's saying against Israel and the people of Israel is wrong.
yeah.
Basically, she
Yeah.
needs to shut her mouth. That was a year and a half ago.
Look,
That girl has not.
Basically, I would call him a mentor at this point. Jonathan Cahn came out and just
Oh, yeah.
stepped all over
The
her.
last couple of weeks, he
Basically,
But you know-
multiple
basically
videos.
said she doesn't know what she's talking about, and
Right.
he's a prophet. I'm telling you, he's
Yeah.
one of the premier prophets in this land.
Yep.
But what's interesting is then I was talking to a guy on the phone and he
Yeah.
was like, hey, I'm going to send you something. And I'm going to send you my reply. And it was about this same thing. And that was like the third time I heard it last week. Jim heard it from a staff member whose child
Interesting.
turned Catholic and is
Yeah.
against Israel now. So we're just giving you information
Yeah.
to be able to help argue
Yep.
why
And
why we support Israel, what we believe, and why we stand for it.
And Jonathan Cahn, I'll just say his books and things like that. He's been on this podcast. We'll have him on the podcast when he's back
Awesome.
next June if we're still here.
Because
Right.
a rapture hasn't happened, not because
What I mean is,
we died or
That's
something.
good to
Not
good to-
because we got in
I
Israel
would
and we
say
watched
his
Ezekiel
prophecies and
38.
his revelations have mentored me. I've been on one of his tours, probably as much as anyone else. Daniel 8:26 and 27, the vision of the evening and the morning, which was told is true. Wherefore shut thou up the vision, for it shall be for many days. And Daniel fainted and was sick for days. Afterward, I rose up and did the king's business. I was astonished at the vision, and I didn't understand any of it. That's Daniel chapter 8.
And Daniel was a very intelligent man.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So he had Gabriel coming to him.
Isn't that amazing?
I'm like,
Gabe, where are you at?
How many times in Daniel does Gabriel come show up and give
They're
an
besties.
interpretation? Gravy. Good
Quickly.
gravy.
Oh, I forgot about the songs.
I know. You've just been waiting for this thing, Dan. Are you in a hurry today? You're going to the fair, aren't you?
I'm going to the fair,
That's
but
why
that's
you
not
keep
why I'm in a
checking how
hurry.
much
No, I
time
was
I'm
just
in.
looking how many. There's lots of
Pages does- you
numbers.
have left.
The cheese curds are not yet fried, so you're okay.
Dude, they start at 7 a.m.
Oh,
Joe
never mind, I was
Morris, Joseph Morris, End Times Made Easy. He also comes
Joey M.
to our church once a year. He says there's no bad news for the Christian. Gives you
good to remember.
75 biblical signs in his book. End Times Made Easy. And we've gone through these signs in detail. Israel being made a nation, Jerusalem being won back, the revival of the Roman Empire, the Hebrew language restored, Ethiopian Jews brought back, the fertility of the land of Israel, economic prosperity of Israel, rebuilding of the temple, the establishing of the Temple Mount, foxes on the Temple Mount Institute preparing for temple worship, ritual baths filling up with water at the Temple Mount, the oil of anointing has been found, one world government, one world currency, one world religion, prep for the Battle of Armageddon, China's one-child policy, fish showing up in the Dead Sea, live fish, Sea of Galilee will be full. Israel today being ruled by two Benjamins.
Oh.
Number 21, here we go. Rabbi, one of the most historic rabbis in the history of Israel, Yitzhak Kaduri, no longer living, highly regarded as an elder statement of rabbis in the Jewish circles, said Jesus appeared to him and revealed himself as Jesus the Messiah. But you know what? No one knew it until a year after his death. Kaduri wrote this in a letter that was hidden until 1 year after he died because he felt the information would be divisive. Shocking. Crazy. Israel causing turmoil with all those rabbis that believe Jesus has not come to earth yet. In the letters, he prophesied before the Messiah returns that Israel would be ruled by two Benjamins. Well, here you go. Never before in history has anything ever happened until 2020 when a surprising turn of events resulted in Israel being co-ruled by Benjamin Netanyahu and Benjamin Gantz.
Yep.
Wow.
A couple of years ago.
Yes, and one of their premier rabbis in their history, wrote a letter and said, "Open it a year after my death."
Yep.
And then he says to them all, "Jesus appeared to me."
That is so wild.
Like, what do they say about that? All right, what do the Jews say about that? And so, number 22, water source in Petra. We told you where they flee. All right, look up Daniel 11:41 if you're interested in. You can see Petra mentioned in 2 Kings 14:7. You can see it referred to in Revelation 12:6. I will say this.
Do you think that's what Jesus was saying, referring to in Matthew 24 and Mark, was it 14 that we were just reading?
Yeah.
When he said...
yeah, I said it. I said I was talking about Petra.
Yeah.
But look, you know, you got to understand, because people, we just have to be thorough here, because I know people aren't going to, look, check this out. I want to show you something. 2 Kings 14:7, all right? He slew of Edom in the valley of Salt 10,000s, took Salah by war, Selah. That is translated, according to Jack Hayford, all right? This is Jack Hayford's Bible. He's the editor of this Bible, the executive editor. He says the Valley of Salt is the plain, the south end of the Dead Sea. Salah is the famous Petra. That's where they flee. Remember we talked about them fleeing? Okay, and so Daniel 11:41 in Swaggart's famous Bible. Listen to this. He shall also enter into the glorious land, into Israel. Many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall escape out of his hand, even Edom, Moab, and the chief of the children of Ammon. Okay, this is Swaggart. Edom and Moab and Ammon compromise modern Jordan. His entering into the glorious land refers to his invasion of Israel at the midpoint of the 7-year non-aggression pact, with them therefore breaking the covenant. The countries listed comprise modern Jordan, where ancient Petra is located.
There it is.
Okay? We're talking to you about Petra. What's the sign here? What's the sign? Also, you can look at Revelation 12:6. They flee into the wilderness halfway through the tribulation. They're going to Petra. It's a carved out city.
Yeah.
Only one way in. And that's where they stay. We know the 144,000 Jews, Jewish evangelists. The ancient city of Petra. I'm reading Joe Morris. End Times Made Easy. End of Days Update. Check out his podcast. Isn't that what it's called? Yep. End of Days Update. You want a lot faster podcast than ours?
As
7 to 10 minutes.
Spitfire. Joe does not take time to breathe.
He's a really fast talker too. Like,
but he's an expert, and this is what the expert says. Check out his book, End Times Made Easy. The ancient city of Petra, located in the southern Jordan near the western border, is an empty city in an arid desert valley destined to fulfill Bible prophecy. Midway through the tribulation, when the Antichrist says he will kill the Jews, many Jews flee to Petra for safety. The 1/3 of them that get out. And even now, God is preparing Petra. A few years back, there was a fascinating video on Christian Broadcasting Network, CBN, where Pat Robertson showed live footage of a new water source discovered in the caves of Petra where Israel will hide. This is yet another sign of Jehovah making provision for his people and giving the church a sign of Jesus' soon return.
Wow.
The city was once a bustling metropolis, and I've seen many, many documentaries on Petra.
Yeah.
And the center of an Arab kingdom in Hellenistic and Roman times with impressive architecture, carved out of red rock. It's amazing.
It is.
Google Petra. Today, almost 1 million tourists go there yearly through almost impassable mountains to see the archaeological site. Amazingly enough, 2,500 years ago, the Nabateans who lived there understood hydraulics and developed a sophisticated water technology that God is improving and reviving. Because those Jews, they're going to need a water source.
Yep.
Well, guess what? Suddenly they have water in Petra after not having water in Petra for almost 2,000 years. So go figure that. It's all a coincidence.
It used to be like a hub for trade, like a major hub.
Petra?
Right in the middle of the desert.
I wouldn't be shocked if someone is stocking up food in Petra, putting it away for right now.
Of course. Joe Morris takes Jews there who he thinks are going to wind up there.
Yeah, part of the
That's
144,
great. Yeah,
144,000.
He took Ronnie Levy there.
That's awesome.
Or
Yeah.
did he try and it didn't work out?
Oh,
No.
Something.
I thought he said he was going to when he was here last.
Yes. Anyways,
That'd be awesome.
one of these Final Hour podcast tours, we will go to Petra. It's a
That'd be
lot.
cool.
You got to spend the night in Jordan, I think.
I'm
And you
down.
got to go over the border.
Isn't it really right by the Dead Sea, Jordan?
It's across the
Yeah,
border,
it's
though.
yeah, you see it
You
while
could float over
while
there.
you're driving from Galilee to the Dead Sea. You're looking at Jordan across the river the whole time.
You are. Are we doing the news or are we ending?
Yeah, here's Linnea with the full, all of the news. She's not skipping any news today.
I couldn't tell if you were
'Cause she wants
looking
to
at
go
the
to the
screen
fair.
up there or if you were rolling your eyes.
Jim, I don't
at
skip the news. Really, no. I don't skip the news because of something. I skip the news because I see your body language and feel it. And it's like, hurry, Linnea. And then
I just said read all the news.
I know. Okay. So we have talked a lot about the obsession with the Americans and illegal immigrants. And if an illegal immigrant does something that is illegal, right? Like they murder somebody or kill somebody or whatever. For whatever reason, you have all these protests and groups that decide they want to advocate on behalf of this illegal immigrant. Okay.
Instead of advocating for the victims that were just.
Why would we do that?
Idiots, because they're idiots.
So we talked about the U-Haul truck driver last week who killed 3 people. Who looked like I don't know if you watched the video. Mm-hmm. He basically looks back and's like, oh, like he rolled over an ant or something, right? That was like the gist you got from him, that he just totally killed people, right? Or killed 3 people, ruined their lives. So this guy, Harjinder Singh, he was charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide, okay? More than 2.5 million people have signed the Change.org petition directed at Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. They want this guy to have executive clemency, urging them to consider that they not accuse this guy of anything because he doesn't have any criminal history and he made a terrible mistake.
I said, 2.5 million idiots.
You guys, he killed 3 people.
They killed people.
They're saying he doesn't have any prior history, doesn't have any problems. So, this was a terrible mistake. He shouldn't get tried for this crime.
If it was a white dude, it'd be manslaughter.
Oh yeah,
7 years,
100%. And
sorry,
that's it. 7 years. That makes me so mad.
Well,
you took someone's
you
life.
Could get 14,
I know it makes me so
7,
mad.
Whatever.
But okay, so we have a petition for this, right? So not only that, but okay, so that's disgusting. Okay, but now you have the Maryland man back. Remember the Maryland father?
Yeah, the Maryland guy,
Kilmer Abrego Garcia,
the child trafficker.
And he also abused his wife at times, but she recanted all those things because she found out when she filed police reports, the police came to take information from her that he would get deported. So she recanted all of her stories. And I don't know why. He does a press conference, right? Because he's trying to get people behind him so that he doesn't get deported to Uganda. Because that's where they're going to deport him now. Uganda. What's his first name? His name, Kilmer.
His name is Kilmer?
Yeah, Kilmer Abrego Garcia. I'm sure John can say it right. Okay? But you guys, you had protests pop up all over. I watched these people. I think it was in Maryland. They're singing This Little Light of Mine, but they're changing the words to honor this man so that he doesn't get deported out of the United States. And I was driving down to Edina yesterday for a movie. And over the bridge right by Southdale, you know, the bridge, they brought the bridge back after some guy ran into it. There was a protest going on there like, Trump lies, protect the immigrants. We don't want this. Like, what are we doing? Why are we defending these criminals?
We're sending Kilmer away.
Yeah.
We're
sending Kilmer away, right?
Yeah, we should send him away.
Send him away.
The fact that we even brought him back because of all the ridiculousness of he wasn't supposed to go back to El Salvador.
Brought him back to get prosecuted.
Prosecuted, right. Yeah. Okay, anyways. He's charged with human smuggling, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they caught him in Tennessee with a car full of illegals.
Removed car seats.
They thought
more people could fit in the car.
Yeah.
He spoke English
That's where he was caught.
Spoke perfect English.
To the Tennessee cops that pulled him over, he spoke English.
Okay, I have a funny thing to say about that. Okay, so he spoke English, but now he doesn't speak English. He has a translator. And now people are saying he can't get deported to a country where he can't speak the language. Okay, first of all, then, he shouldn't have come to America. That just enrages me, these stupid people I see in their protests.
You need to settle down, Linnea. It's okay.
You are...
Amped?
You are amped.
Yeah, you got to go to the fair and... eat some cheese curds and some cookies.
I don't love cheese curds. I don't love cheese.
She loves Sweet Martha's cookies.
Some fried olives.
You're not working at the cookie stand this year.
No, that was exhausting. Mentally exhausting.
That was Leighton's idea, wasn't it?
That was Leighton's idea. And you know what she said?
Just be honest. She didn't want to do that.
Well, I wanted to be with Leighton, and it was...
Yeah, but you could be with Leighton. You don't have to work at Sweet Martha's.
But she wanted to do it, and I was like, I'll do it with you, and then we did it. Yeah. And then she's like, I feel like we need to leave it on this high, because if we went back, we'd probably be annoyed with it. I was like,
just hate it now.
Yeah, I would.
You're doing one night, though, aren't you?
No, none.
None nights.
Good for you.
Sweet Martha's texted me and said,
no to one of your kids. That's impressive.
Well, she's not here. She left.
Right. That's probably why you said no. She's not here.
I was going to go work with all the teenage boys by myself. Okay. So, we've talked about Loudoun County before.
Where's Loudoun County?
Virginia.
Oh, okay. Virginia.
So, you guys, this is why it's important that you stay vigilant. You pay attention.
And watch.
Sorry. Absolutely.
Talk about calm down. You just yelled. You gotta stay vigilant against school gender policies, because in Loudoun County, they allowed transgender children to use the other sex's bathroom, right? So this girl who's identifying as a boy goes in. This is a private school, okay? This is
It's
a
a
private.
boy.
No, it's a girl
It's
who
a
went into
girl
the
who
boys'
went into the
bathroom.
boys'
Okay,
bathroom.
girl. Okay.
So the boys are in the bathroom and they're getting ready for gym class and they're changing and they're like, "Why is she in here?" So this girl grabs out her camera, starts recording the boys. They're like, "Why is she in here? She's a girl. She shouldn't be in here.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Especially
change in
watching
front
us
of her.
change.
Yeah, I don't want to change in front of her." Okay. The kids go through the rest of the day at school. That student brings the video camera or the video recording, first of all, to her mom, who then brings it to the school. The school suspended those boys, said that they were sexually okay, remember, these were the kids that were videotaped changing. Said they were sexually harassed. And now I think this kids, they're suspended and they can't do extracurricular activities and they can't do anything. So you had a female who identified as a male going to the boys' bathroom, and these kids are like, "Why is she in here?"
They
Right.
didn't attack her.
No.
They
No.
didn't. They
They
didn't
said-
touch
They
her.
just said, "Why is the
Well,
girl?"
especially then
They
being
questioned her being
filmed.
there and got
Yes.
thrown out of the
Yes.
school, out of that woke school.
So they're saying
Messed
this
up.
is a sex-based discrimination. And okay, thank God the parents, they're appealing this decision. They're saying the boys were unfairly punished, obviously, for questioning why a transgender student was in the boys' locker room. So those boys are suspended right now.
and probably have been in class with her for all of their lives.
I'm sure it's a private
And
school.
so
You kind of do that.
They're like, this has been a girl.
And-
I don't
Unless
care.
she's
I
a
don't care who
plant.
you identify as.
Well, yeah,
They
unless
sent her to that school
Right.
to
But-
cause
Sure.
problems.
But I'm
Sure.
sorry, you look at that and you're just like, of course. Why would we protect the students who are right? Even though what did Trump say when he came back? There's only two genders, but here we are still.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you have a Minnesota Democrat who's comparing sex-specific bathrooms to the segregation era policies. That was the lady that was on the screen yesterday with the big smile. And you're like,
Oh, about the Indians?
no, that was
Oh,
different.
okay.
That was different.
All
Okay, so Senator Erin McQuaid dismissed concerns about men and women's bathrooms. She said, "You guys have anti-trans bathroom panic." Okay, when I go in, even at my park, like there's a bathroom at the park, right? So sometimes if I take my dog on a long walk, I go in there. I like double check
You gotta.
the bathroom stalls because I was listening to who's the lady? Chris Ponder. Why can't I think of it?
Christian Ponder?
Samantha Ponder, his
Okay.
wife. She was saying in New York, her daughter went. I know I talked about this before, but went into the women's bathroom and there was a man in there, and
Yep.
he's like, "I'm identifying as a female," and he was recording all the women who came into the bathroom. How like so? Okay, so
Yeah.
right, it goes the other way.
Like,
They're
that
always
would-
recording.
That would
But
be a
you,
problem
like,
if it
double
was
check.
a woman recording women coming into the bathroom.
If I saw a woman recording in a bathroom, I would leave. But if I
yeah.
walked into that bathroom and I saw a man, even a man who like looks like a woman,
Right.
I would revert out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Okay, but she is saying that us having trans panic bathroom attacks is like the segregation era restroom policies where you
So
black and white
messed up.
people had separate bathrooms to go to the bathroom. No, it's not like that.
It's not like that at all. It's not even close to being like that.
I'll chime in and say, no, it isn't.
Thank you, Jim.
I
Okay,
agree.
but let me tell you.
Solidarity.
Okay, you guys, I read this quote, like the stats of this. So about 2.8 million Americans identify as transgenders. Okay, a quarter of them are aged 13 to 17. Okay, just to break this down.
28. So that means.
No, Jim, hold on. I'm doing it.
2.8.
Please don't.
Okay. A quarter
There's
of them.
340
That's
million people currently living in the United States. You guys, this transgender thing is talking about roughly less than 10% of Americans identify as trans.
10%.
Less than 10%.
Way less than 10%.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, no,
it's
no.
0.8%. I did the math.
0.8.
0.8%.
Yes.
Not, yeah.
So
Point.
it's less than
sorry,
a,
less
than a
than,
percent.
yes,
Yeah,
okay.
0.8
Less than 1%
right?
of the,
Isn't it 0.08?
no, it's
That's 2 million
0.8000006.
is okay, whatever.
I Googled it. I said,
There's only 2
what
million
is-
of them out of 360 million.
That's what we're talking about here, you guys. When we
And-
bring up these policies,
and-
it's nothing but baiting
700,000
people.
or 13. 700,000 of those 2
It's ridiculous.
something million or
Okay.
13 years old.
So then you have Snoop Dogg, who went on a
Oh, yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
who took his grandson to go see the new Buzz Lightyear movie. And in the Buzz Lightyear movie, it was 2 lesbian moms and they had a kid. And the little grandson says to him, "Papa Snoop, how did that happen? 2 women can't have a baby?" And he was like,
Correct.
"I'm just going to the movie to just entertain My grandson. I don't want to have to get into it. But he's like, don't worry about that. And he said the grandkid couldn't get off it. So Snoop goes on. He's like, why do you have to bring that into our movies?
Yeah.
Why do you have to bring that into a 3-year-old's life?
There is an agenda.
And oh my gosh.
Good for Snoop
the
Dogg.
backlash Snoop Dogg got.
yeah?
We're
So what?
canceling Snoop Dogg. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
No, he doesn't care.
He's token up. He doesn't care.
Yeah, well, even if he's not token, good for you.
Well, Snoop is known for token up.
Well, he's
so.
gone in and out of it, right?
Yeah.
Over the years,
Well,
he's stopped here, stopped there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He has.
Okay.
I like Snoop.
Yeah. Well,
And him and Martha Stewart are best friends, and I just love that combo.
Yeah.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
funny together.
They are. They became besties at the Justin Bieber roast.
Yeah.
If you have not watched the Martha Stewart documentary on Netflix, I highly recommend it. Anyways,
I feel like we're not hearing her well. Are we hearing her?
you might have got unplugged. Okay, I did the
Who,
rest
me?
of it. No.
Oh.
Oh, one thing, okay? Well, your thing might have got unplugged when Rolly was
Yeah.
dinking around.
He's fine.
Okay. So this is quite comical, and I'll end on this.
Did you do all the things you had, and then did you just skip
All
a
of them.
bunch of stuff?
Nope.
Jim, I did all of them.
She did all of them.
Okay, well, before she does that, I just want to make you aware that it's come to the attention of a lot of people that over 2,000 active judges
that's right.
in the United States of America are regularly attending climate control conferences. So they are taking
That's awkward.
They are taking these judges. They are taking these
Very.
judges, and they're educating them on their false climate control crap, right? And here's the problem: they're keeping the judges' names secret. All right, this is truth. This is a big deal right now.
Yeah.
And because here's the thing: if you wind up in a lawsuit, you would
Right.
like to know. You
Yeah.
need to know if he was in a climate control conference.
Right. Who has sat under propaganda concerning
Yeah, this
climate
is what
control.
they're doing with our judicial system. Right. Sorry, go ahead, Linnea.
Okay. Well, this kind of goes into it. So the Minnesota Democratic Party has revoked its endorsement of Omar Feta.
Yes.
So this is the far left Somalian socialist running for mayor of Minneapolis.
Yep.
After learning that voting
Mamdani Jr.
voting irregularities may have led to his delegation when, oh my
May
gosh,
have.
oh my
Did
gosh.
you watch the
He
Jacob
cheated?
Fry? Yeah.
That's because they're gonna get caught cheating, so they had to do it. They had to do it. It's the only
Jacob
reason
Fry.
they would admit it.
There's discrepancies in voting. Yeah, you think. That's why Trump signed an order that he wants to get rid of
Yeah.
The mail-in and the
ballots.
machines.
Yeah.
Get rid of the machines and mail-in. Make it fair.
Right.
It's done faster.
Everybody,
you can count the
Hand
votes.
counting is
Hand
so much
co-
faster.
Hand counting, you're done in 2 to 3 days. The stupid machines, is
I have one
2
more,
weeks.
Ness.
2 weeks.
I have one more. So the Texas passes the big, beautiful map. So that gives them 5 new GOP seats ahead of the 2026 midterms. That's great.
Can I give you some info? Or you got more on that?
No, go ahead, because
Can I
I
give you
figured.
some information on that? Because I've looked at a lot on this. The Democrats have gerrymandered most of
Gerrymandering.
most of the states in the union for their for their
Party.
advantage.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if we get into a gerrymandering war here, if the Republicans if they redo District Florida, Missouri, we will win so many more seats. Because this is what they've done for 10 years. They've done this. What they're doing in California,
like
what the Republicans
20,
are doing
30 years now.
in Texas, what the Republicans are doing in Texas. The Democrats have almost done this to the point where they can't do it anymore.
Right.
All right?
Yeah, they've
But
maxed it out.
But the Republicans have not done any of it.
Yeah.
Yet we're still winning elections.
Yep.
All right. So
Party of truth.
here's the thing. If this happens, it will just get more seats out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For every
it's
state
great.
they do, we should do one more. And just keep going.
Well, we talked about this last week. Newsom's scared of it. So he's like,
Oh, yeah.
you can't do that here. Of course not.
yeah,
I can't stand
he
Newsom.
signed a bill, or he signed or ordered some gerrymandering.
Of course he did. I cannot
retaliation.
stand.
Can I just?
I don't know if it'll.
Yeah, but he's almost gerrymandered to the hilt as it is.
Right.
You know, okay, here's the thing. Like Massachusetts is 40% Republican. Like if you look at their whole vote,
Yep.
40%, all right, is of the votes of that population is Republican. How many seats do they have in Congress? 0. Because it's been gerrymandered. by the Democrats. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about. If 40% of the vote, even in California, 40% of the vote, right? California is 40% Republican. Can I tell you what? They got 9 out of 52 seats. All right. And so it's supposed to match about, it's supposed to be fair. All right.
Right.
But they gerrymander the districts so that it favors them. Right. So we lose. We don't have any representatives in Massachusetts, even though the state is 40% conservative. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and are you understanding this? Are you getting this?
Yes, I was just trying to think of all the people I know in California if I really think it's 40% that are Republicans.
Oh, it is. It really is.
I mean, California was Republican for a long time.
No, I know that, but everybody I've talked to except for one family is Democrats, but that's okay. 2 families. I take that back. 2.
Idiots.
I know. My daughter argues with her friends about it sometimes.
I just need the Lord to do something in my heart about these people.
Yeah, these precious fruit.
I haven't said this at church.
Yes, Pastor.
Because I know that I'm not approaching it like Jesus. I have some growing up to do. I have to quit. I have to have the heart of God for these people. Because I don't want to be nice to these people. Okay? I really do see them. Mm-hmm. And I don't need you. Never mind. Writing in
and send in their Jim, we're praying for this for you.
Right. And remember, if you're scared, don't go on the Israel trip.
Oh my! Right. Well, you need to have the heart of Jesus. I thought you just said. What?
It's a no counseling tour.
Yeah,
Jerry will do some counseling.
Well, we'll that's why we got.
Actually, you know what? We didn't have anybody
Have
who
some
needed
time
counseling.
with Jerry.
Everyone
Coffee with Jerry.
everyone who's signing up, everyone who's on the list so far.
That's why
that'll be
you
like-
pray ahead of time for that.
John and Jerry will take you to coffee, and you'll relax. You'll have a good time. It'll be good.
In Israel,
Yeah.
it's so fun, you guys. I don't know.
And the food.
With this crowd, it's going to be fun. We've got the 4 of us, and we've got
3 other staff members.
Yeah, we've got Baltimore and Chelsea.
Nope, no Chelsea.
Baltimore, Pastor
Heather.
Baltimore, Pastor
Binsky.
Heather, and Pastor Trina. And so they can handle the drama if there's drama. I just don't get into the drama.
I save the drama for my mom.
If you get over there and after 3 days you're tired and
But that's not drama.
You're jet lagging and things like that, and you're mad, just talk to the angry pirate.
Are you talking about yourself?
Don't talk to me because I'm just trying to get through it
Jet
myself.
lag is a normal, natural thing over there. I don't feel like I was ever angry. I was in a good mood the
You
whole
were in
trip.
a good time, good mood.
Even the girl,
Listen.
the lady who was constantly last.
He said you were angry till you had your coffee. That's what he said. And once you had your coffee, you were fine.
I mean, okay, well, hold on. Once I have coffee,
It
I'm
was
like,
a mood lifter.
I do know that coffee makes me more talkative. I know that. Otherwise, I'm a really quiet person.
Absolutely.
I have to talk on the podcast.
I'm going to be honest.
You have something to say?
I have nothing to say.
I enjoyed so much in the morning, coffee, fresh fruit, fresh food,
yeah.
fresh bread, fresh
You mean eating
everything.
breakfast, John?
Yeah, it
Non-GMO,
was so good.
non-chemicals.
Yeah.
It was.
We break bread together every morning and
It
evening.
was amazing. I loved it.
Olive bar.
And yeah, I
Great food.
crushed so many olives while I was there. Yeah. I love olives.
But it's a fun time. So I know Jim's what
are you doing this for?
like Jim is you're just kind of being aggressive. You're trying to just set boundaries of what people because I don't want to have to answer emails of.
It's not the Living Word counseling tour, okay? I mean,
Correct.
It's a tour.
everyone
for
has problems,
Israel, not
right?
to
And I
hang out
know
with-
that I'm a pastor, but I've got a different hat on here, right? We're leading a tour.
You're a pastor,
to Israel,
not the pastor
okay?
of disaster.
And I know, look, and all I'm going to give you is scripture, anyways. Right? I'm not a counselor, okay?
Well, you go to the
Amen.
land and you just bring your problems to the Lord
God will
there.
be your counselor in the land. You don't even need the angry pirate or Jerry.
Look, if I counsel you, it's gonna be like you ask me what your problem is. I'm gonna be honest.
And
So
she's
don't
gonna be like,
ask
"I'll
me
tell you what your
if you
problem
don't
is."
want to know.
So, but see,
This just happened last week to someone. I was like, "You asked, here it comes."
If you've already signed up for the trip, this makes it key. This is very important. You've got to pray. You've got to bind in the name of Jesus. Bind and loose strife and division. Bind and loose, complaining. And plead the blood over the trip. We need no symptoms. No one in the hospital. No one. If you cover all this stuff, ahead of time.
Yes.
The health of everyone, the unity, because it could be, it could be unity with people for the rest of your lives. It could turn into that, where
100%,
where you have
that's happened on trips for me before. With
you
people,
have connections with people for the rest of your life that you didn't know that were on that bus. So it's an amazing thing. But yeah, I'm just saying to get for the people that pray, these are the things you pray for ahead of time. You cover all this ahead of time, right?
Yes.
And that's what
Even though Barbara was late all the time, I still love Barbara.
Barbara's great.
Barbara lost her phone. Still loves you, Barbara.
Is Barbara a listener?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Barbara is fantastic.
Thank you for listening, Barbara.
Absolutely.
Yes. Barbara's great.
All right.
That was fun.
It was a great time.
There were no difficulties.
No, we had an
really
amazing
were.
group of
There was
people.
almost
Everyone
no
got along.
arguments.
Zero.
No strife. Because day 2 or 3, you're going through a shift. You're in another country.
Yeah.
You're tired. A lot of people, if they haven't taken that flight before, they're feeling the effects. They didn't sleep the first night because your sleep hours are flipped around. I'm just being straight. And but once you hit day, I think 4, there's a stride that you kind of hit.
Yeah.
There's a stride you kind of
Yeah,
hit.
there was one time on the bus where I said it's quiet time. Like we're not talking.
All right, everybody.
Because people wanted it to be quiet and some other people were yapping. I was like, hey guys, let's just
Who was
look out
yapping?
the window. Let's look out the windows and reflect on. Let's have a little bit of quiet time.
Really?
Probably
You
by that time,
controlled
I think I
everyone
was
talking
doing-
on the bus.
I was
Well, there was
doing
some
my
people who
Hebrew
said, I
lessons.
just want to because we had a smaller
Day
bus and you could
one?
hear
Oh,
everybody.
that's right.
Yeah, there was only 16 of us. So it was
I
a
can
small.
tell you how
It
many
was only
days
one
it's
time
been
and
since
everybody
the middle of the
understood it.
trip.
16 would have been perfect.
It was great. Yeah, you should have come.
it
You
was
didn't.
real,
We had
real
a
good.
fantastic
Well, I
time.
would have missed the services that I have to do. That's my first job.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap on the podcast today. Thanks
Yeah,
for sticking with us for all
For all hour and 31 minutes.
90
and
minutes.
10 seconds.
91 minutes.
I've been doing my Hebrew lessons since the middle of the trip, and that was 188 days ago.
Good for you. Oh, I just started my Hebrew lessons this morning.
The only word I know is
Again?
Okay.
But
With that,
shalom. No, again, we do a FaceTime now.
Do you?
Yeah.
with
I
that,
haven't been.
we
haven't
sign
been invited.
off. Write us a good review. Please subscribe.
Only
God
5.
bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Talk to you next week.